Hello friends, this is Deepa Shah from Think Quotient. Today we are going to learn about list and the functions related to list. What are the different operations we can perform with list? So before moving to list, let's do two or three pattern programs. Okay, so let's do some pattern programs over here. So let's start. Now suppose I want to print this pattern, that is we have a right angle triangle over here, this pattern. So now if I want to do this logic over here, what we will do is, so we have already seen replication operator. Yes, so what we do is, suppose I write over here is star, and if I write over here into 10. So what does this mean? This string which is here in double quotes, which should be replicated 10 times. So we can say it's giving me 10. Now the same logic we are going to use over here. So we'll write n is equal to, suppose I ask int input enter number of lines. Okay, so we are asking the end user to enter number of lines he want in the star pattern. Now whatever he enters, what we will do is, okay, I'll just put over here some number over here now. Now what we want over here is basically, so now what we want over here is we want to print the pattern. So for I in range, okay, range start with 1 and till whatever number of lines he says will give 1 extra, because it always range function will stop one element previous. And then we can directly say over here is print what? Now I want to print star. Yes, how many times? So I'll write over here star again, and whatever is the value of I, that much number of time I want to replicate it. So if I say over here is 7, you can see the triangular pattern over here. So writing code in Python or doing any pattern program, it becomes such a the logic over here is so easy. Okay, so this replication, so what we have done is we have replicated star at time, and every time, so we are directly printing this pattern over here. The same thing if we want to do in other languages, we will at least make use of 2 for, we can do using 1 for, but then also in Python the code is the number of lines required to write code is definitely less than other languages. Okay, so this is the pattern. So if you want to print any right angle triangle pattern, so you can just make use of this replication operator and accordingly work out. Now suppose I want to print a pyramid. Okay, so we also have seen there is a pyramid over here like this. So if I want to print a pyramid, so what we should do now, again see, I will require the input from user, that is how many lines you want to print. So this input I will take over here. Now if you observe over here, on first row we have 1 star, on second row we have 3 star, then we have 5, then we have 9. So if it is a fourth row we will write 4 into 2, that is 9. That is basically we want over here in this row, how much we want is, this is 5, 7 we want. So it means when I write 4 into 2, it will give me 8, but one as we are generating odd, if you see 1 star, 3 star, 5 star and then 7, so the number of stars which are getting printed are odd. So same logic we can apply over here. So what I can do is for I in range, okay, range what I'll start with 1 comma n, not n, sorry, n, that is number of lines into 2, okay, and increment by odd. So initially it will be 1, in second pass it will be 3, in next pass it will be 5, and next pass. So see, this is my step I have given in my range operator, this function. So step is 2 means it will always increment by 2, so it will generate, starting with 1 it will generate odd sequence. Now what I want to do is, see, if I just write over here this way print, and I write over here is, suppose I write this way star, the way I did above. So this won't give me a it won't give me a pyramid over here. So if I just hit this over here and write 5, so you can see it's giving me 1 star, 3 star, 5 star, then 7, then 9, but there is no spacing left over here. Okay, so what we want is, here we want to leave 5 spaces or 4 spaces over here, then on the second line less over here. So accordingly we want to work out over here. So before printing first star, we want to leave spaces. So what we can do over here is, so we will write over here is, we'll take extra variable over here, space or space, whatever you want over here is, space is equal to rows, n over here. So n, that is number of lines. Now what we can do over here is, what we'll do is this replication operator, whatever output it gives, I will store it in a variable called s. Okay, so whatever is the string which is formed over here by multiplication of star with I, that I am storing with in S, and now I am going to make use of write justified function, that is rjust. Okay, so rjust is a function which will write justify your string. So I'll say rjustified, and now I want to leave some amount of space. Okay, so what we need to do over here is that is space plus I, okay, over here, and the padding character over here is space. So if we do this, and every time the space should decrement. So on first line we want suppose 5 spaces, so the on second line will require 4, gradually 3, and gradually 2 and 1 and then 0. Okay, so what we are doing over here is, so if we let us check first. So if I write 5, you can see I got a pyramid pattern. So what is space basically? See, if you look in the pattern over here, if this, see over here the value of n, over here the value of n is 1 2 3 4 lines. Okay, number of lines are 4. So what will be the value of space also over here? It would be, I have written space is equal to n, so that is 4 over here. So what will happen over here is, on first row, before printing the character over here, that is 4 plus 1. See, now what I have written over there is rjust. I have written is rjust. Okay, rjustified, write justified, and what are the number of, what is the width over here is, so the width I have calculated the space, okay, plus the value of I over here, and comma, and what is the padding character over here is a space. See, what is rjustified does, what the rjustified does is basically, if your string, now if I write over here space, and we have written this way S, okay. So suppose I give an example over here. Suppose we do this way. I have written over here Deepa, okay, and I write over here dot rjustified, okay, and I write over here is suppose 10, comma, and I write over here is suppose hyphen or underscore or hyphen, whatever you want over here. So what this will do is, see, the width I have specified over here is 10, and Deepa is of 5 characters. Okay, for the length of Deepa word is 5. So what it will do is, first initial what to say, instead of this I'll use what over here is basically plus I'll use. So what it will do over here is, first 5 characters it will keep as plus operator over here. The width we have told of the string is what, 10. So as Deepa is of 5 length, the first 5 characters over here will be plus, and then Deepa will go over here after that. Okay, so what is happening is, this is constant over here, but if I take this as variable this way, suppose I take a variable over here sp with value of 10 over here, so and I pass over here sp, so initially it will keep 10, then if I do over here sp minus minus, okay, that is sp is equal to sp minus 1. So what will happen over here is, now the value of sp will be 9, again it will rotate in loop. Now it will leave how many spaces, how many times it will print plus sign over here is, it is going to print 4 times now, because see over here 9, the length total over here is 9, and 9 Deepa character is taking 5 spaces over here, so 4 times plus and then the word Deepa, accordingly 3 times plus. See, this is the width we specify. From this width, if this string is occupying 5 characters, rest characters it will pad it with plus. So the same thing is happening over here is, so I have calculated what is the total length over here. So this length which is there over here is sp, space whatever is number of rows. If you see, if I draw a central line from here over here like this, if I draw a line, so the first star which is before that, we can say tentatively the number of rows, number of lines, whatever you write, that is the space to be taken. So that space plus the space occupied by star, that is plus I say. So space is 5, I is one more 6. So from 6, so I have told s, what I have written over here, s dot write justified 6 comma space. So from 6, 5 characters it will print spaces, and the last character will be what, star. And every time I am decreasing space over here, so space now initially if we take the value of n was 5, so now it will become 4, and 4 plus what the value of I will be, now the value of I will be 2, and accordingly the spaces will be left over here. See, the stars are getting also incremented over here. So initially it was inside this string we had how many stars? We had 1 star over here. After that, in next pass the value of I would be 2, so 2 stars, and then 3 stars, and then 4 stars. So whenever the string is getting incremented, so 1 star it had, then 2 3 stars, then 5 stars, accordingly this R justified is going to also keep the spaces over here, and we'll have a pattern over here. So with the help of R justified we have done this pattern program over here, and you can see within this thing also I have done in a single for loop. If the same program we try to implement in any other programming language, so we require 3 loops over here. One would be for number of rows, then for columns, and one would be for number of spaces. So in Python we can see the syntax is easy, and also the number of lines required to write any logic is comparatively less. Okay, now moving to list. List is basically collection of objects. Okay, so inside list we can store any type of object. It is mutable. Okay, it is mutable. So if we take an example of list, so list means what? List is collection of any type of objects. Any type of object means inside list you can have a string, integer, boolean, a nested list, or tuple over there. So you can dict also you can have. So inside list you can have anything. So list is basically collection of objects over here. We can think of array over here, like other programming languages have an array. We can think list is like that. Lists are basically defined. We specify list in square brackets. So if I want to create a list over here, we write square bracket over here, and then by comma separated we specify the objects which we want to store. So I can write over here 12, I can write over here some name over here, then I can store over here is true, then I can store over here is again a nested list over here this way, or a set, anything. So if I write over here is 1, 2, 3, and then I write something more over here is, suppose I create a tuple over here is 5, 6. So anything. See, list is a collection of objects. So the objects can be of any data type. Okay, so the values which are there over here, the objects which are here, it can be of any data type you can store. And list is mutable. The another thing about list is it's mutable. Mutable means if you want to add, modify, del afterwards, you can definitely do it. It is not going to create a new thing in the same list. It will go on appending the things if you want to append. So list basically is an ordered collection, we can say, and the data which we store in list, okay, is in order, insertion order is preserved over here. Then it is mutable, it is growable over here, and also it can store different types of object. Yes, so these are some things about list. So basically now if we just want to, we see over here is LST. So this is my list over here, which is having at 0th position 12, and then this is my first position, then this is my second, this is a nested list which we have, and this is a tuple over here. So basically list can contain any type of object, any type of heterogeneous data it can contain. Okay, it maintains the insertion order over here. It is mutable, it is growable, it is mutable. Okay, so now if we want, so list is represented by square brackets. If you see over here, it's represented by square brackets over here. Another way of creating, so if I write over here this way, L1 is equal to square, this is one way of create. It's an empty list. So if I check over here type of L1, so you can see it will show you list. Another way of creating list is using the function call list. So if you want to create from existing sequence, suppose I have got one string over here, suppose Deepa, and now from this, if I want to create from this existing sequence, if I want to create a list, we can write over here is L2 is equal to, write the function over here list, basically list, it's not a function, actually constructor, and then pass over here s, and then we press enter over here, and let's check what is there in L2. You can see it comes now, these characters which we had inside string over here, these characters we can see they are there inside. These are characters are converted into list format, and they are stored over here. So list is also a function which can be used. So one way to create list is using square bracket. Another way of creating list is using list function. Now list can contain any type of data. So if I want to insert now, so we can do anything. Now let's do gradually. So now if I'll show you over here is now this list is, first of all, if I check ID of list, I'll show you the ID of list over here is, suppose this is the ID of list. Okay, now we have a method called append. So I'll just show you, this is my list over here. I just print the list over here. Now if I write over here lst dot append, append means it is going to insert at the end over here, and I say append what, Priya over here. Suppose I say append a thing called Priya, and now if I print the list over here, you can see after 5 6 the Priya word has been appended. And now if I check over here ID of what, LST again, okay, after appending, so you can see it's the same reference ID we are getting over here. It means it has not created a new thing, it has added at the end of the existing list only. So that says that this can be, thus we can say that list is what, mutable. Okay, now moving ahead, now the way we had in string indexing, same way we have in list also indexing thing over here. So if you think of, so if you take a list over here this way, which is containing some data over here, suppose it is containing is 1 2, then we have over here is 1, suppose in square bracket another list over here is 1 2 3, okay, then I have over here is in between some name over here this way. Now if I want to access the elements of list, you go access the elements of list using index. Okay, and you have both type of index in list also, positive and negative indexing. So by default the element, first element position over here for positive indexing, it is 0. Accordingly this is 1. This whole nested list will have a location is 2, and ohm will have is what over here is 3. And if we think of negative indexing, so the last element will have -1, then we have is -2, then we have is -3, and then we have over here is what, -4. So you can do positive as well as negative indexing to access any element from list. So if you want to access a single element from list, so if I want to access from this list, suppose 12, so I can say LST over here, suppose we can say over here is, okay, we can say over here is LST and in square bracket 0, because 0 means the first data I want to access over here from of 0th index. So 0 over here is the index, so we will get over here 12. Similarly, I write over here is, suppose LST of, suppose I write over here is -1, now negative index. So let's see whether we get Priya. So we got Priya over here. So we can say -1 also, or 1 2 3 4 5 6. So even if I write LST.6, I use a positive index over here, then also I am going to get the same. Okay, it's out of range, my mistake, somewhere I went wrong, let me check. So we can write actually length of list -1, but 1 minute, 0 1 2 3 4 5, it's 5. Okay, so we can write over here is 5. So if you give index behind extra index, you'll get index error over here. So Priya we got over here. Now if I want to know this list consists of how many elements, so we have this function in Python interpreter called length, which we were using for string. Same function we can use for list also. So length of list, if we say, we will get the number of elements over here. So it gives you the actual length. So if I want to extract the last element, so we could have also written over here is LST of length of list -1, because length gives you the actual length, so this will also give you the last element. So you have positive indexing as well as negative indexing for list too. So you can access any element of list using index over here. Now if I want to access this 1 2 3 4, this is a nested element. Okay, so this is 0 1 2 3. So if I say over here down below, now if I say, I'll just print the list over here first of all, LST. Now if I want to get this nested list over here, so 0 1 2 3, I'll say, so LST of 3 over here, and it is going to give you the nested list over here, that is 1 2 3. Now from this, if I want to access 2, okay, so what we can write over here is LST in square bracket, first we'll write 3 and then the index of 2. So this is going to return you the list over here. So this, when you write this thing, you will get this list over here. in output. From this list I want which index element over here is 1, so I'll specify over here 1, and now you will get the element over here is 2. This way if I want to get the third element, so what we can write is list of 3, and then I will write over here 2. So when I write 2, so what is happening is from the current list the third element I am getting first, and from the third element I am getting the second element over here, that is 0 1 2, that is the third element, again we are getting over here, that is 3. So if you want to extract data from this nested list over here, what we do over here is we first specify what is the index of this nested list over here, that is LST of 3. And when you write this command, you get this. We have already seen, when you write this command, you get over here. Now on this we say give me the first element, this from the list which we get, give me the first element, give me the second element. Accordingly whatever the data index number which we specify, which is within the range, you can get what over here is the output. Okay, so now we have positive as well as negative indexing over here. So to extract the data we can use any index over here. So if I say LST of 1, let's see what LST of 1 is. So you will get ohm over here. Now as I told you, list is what I told you is it's mutable. List is mutable. Mutable means at any point of time I can change the data of any location. So if I want to change from ohm to ohmcar, what should I write? I should write is LST of 1 is equal to, and in double quotes, ohmcar over here. And if I now go and print the list, you can see instead of ohmcar, ohm we have over here is what? Ohmcar. So we have modified the list over here. So you can always modify the list over here this way. So when we write like this, we are updating or modifying the position one, whatever on one position we had, we are that data we can modify over here. So we give the index, and whatever is the new value to be replaced we specify over here, and accordingly it will replace over here. Okay, now can I write over here is can we use slicing? Yes, slicing is also possible over here. We have seen whenever we do slicing, in slicing we specify the start value, colon, the end value, and the step over here. These are the things we specify whenever we use slicing. So slicing basically is used from a list. If you want a sublist from a list, if you want to get a sublist, we'll go for what? Slicing. Slicing means a part. So from a list, if you want to get some sublist, I'm interested in, I want data from ohmcar till this part over here. So I want to get this sublist from the main list, I want to get a sublist, then we can go for slicing. Now in slicing, start is the index which from where you want to get the list cut, from where you want to, we can say extract the data. End, whatever end you specify, one position before that. So if you write end as 3, it will cut till 2 over here. So end is always, it will, whatever you specify end, it will exclude it. Exclude means it will leave it one position previous that. And step is whether you want to increment the step is by default it is +1. So +1 means every time it will go give you 1 1 1 1, it will extract the next element. If you write 2, so now it will step by 2. So every second from the start position, it will always add 2 to that, and whatever is the data will get accordingly. Okay, so let's just do some things or slicing operations over here. So I'll just show you. So now if I will create a new list of some names or numbers over here, or suppose I write over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, suppose this is my list over here. Now I want to extract 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what should I write over here is LST square bracket. Okay, now what is the start position? So the position of I is 1 is 0 and 2 is what? Index. We specify the index. So the index over here is 1. Till what we want now 2, 3, 4 if I want to cut. So I should give one extra position. So let us check 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is the position of 4. So I'll give over here is 4. Now even though we don't specify step over here, it's perfectly fine. By default it is 1. So let's execute over here. So we can see we got a new sublist over here which is containing only the data over here is from 1 to 4. That is, it will have from 1 to 3, that is 2, 3, 4. So from index number 1 to 4, it has extracted the data from the list. So when we say 4, it will extract till third position, and that is the thing we got over here. Similarly, if I write over here is, suppose I write over here is what? LST, and I write over here is suppose 1, or I don't specify the start index, I just write 4 over here. So when you don't specify the start index over here, by default it is taken as 0. So now if we see, so it has started extracting from the first position over here, that is 1, and when you say till 4, when you say till 4 over here, I have said 4, so till third position it will extract over here, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So till 4 it has extracted over here, and see, we are talking about index. So 4 is what over here? It's an index, and this 1, 2, 3 are actually the data over here. So when I say 4, it's basically I'm talking about the index. So this, if you talk about this, or we can just take an index or string over here this way. Suppose we take over here is A, comma B, comma C, comma D, comma E, comma, suppose I write over here is F. So if these are the 6 elements we have, so when I write 4, so what it will do is it will cut from 0th position, that is 0, 1, 2 and 3. Till 3 it is going to cut, because you have specified the index over here as what? 4. Okay. Similarly, if I don't specify the end, so if I write just colon, I write over here 3, that is the start position is 3, and I don't specify the end over here. So if you don't specify the end, it is taken till end over here. So from third position till end, you can see it has given me from third position 0, 1, 2, 3. This is my third position. From third position till the end, it has extracted all the characters over here. Okay, so slicing, the way it works for string, the same way it is going to work for list also. So if I want to reverse the list, so what we specify over here is colon, colon, and then we specify -1 over here. So you can see it has given me the list in reverse order. So this was my original list, and now you can see it, the list is in reverse format. So colon, colon, -1 means step backwards. Okay, +1 means from forward it will do stepping 1 positions, and when you write -1 it is backwards. Okay, and when you don't specify the start, it is taken as 0, and when you don't specify the end, it is taken till the end. So when you write this, it is going to give you the reverse of the original list over here. That is what we can see over here. Now suppose I want to extract is EDC, and that also in reverse way. So what are the indexes I should specify? So LST square bracket, now EDC, if I use negative index, the negative index of E is -2. So I'll write over here is -2 if I want to work with negative index. -2, -3, -4, and this is -5 over here. So I'll write -5, and now the stepping I want over here is -1, because -1, -2, -1 will make it -3, and accordingly. So let's check now whether it is giving me EDC. Okay, indices, list indices must be integers or slices, not. Okay, I just forgot over here is colon over here. Yeah, my mistake. So now let's check. So you can see it has given me EDC, but it's going in reverse. First it has given me E, then D, and then C. Why? Because the start position we have given is -2. As I told you, whenever we talk about list or anything, the position of first, if you do positive indexing, here it will start with 0, and if you're doing negative indexing, the last element will have index over here is -1, the previous element will have before that, that is -2, and accordingly -3 and -4. So if I want to extract element over here, that is I want to start with E, the position I can specify over here is -2, and I'm writing over here is -5. Why? Because -2 is this is -3, this is -4, and this is -5. So for slice operator, we always give one extra, and the step over here is I've given is what? -1. Same thing I could also have written over here is LST. Okay, I could have written over here, the index over here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, okay, colon, and then I could have written 4, then this is what over here is 4, 3, 2, and this is 1. So I can write over 4 this, and I'll write over here is -1 also. So this is also going to give. So you can work by positive indexing, you can work by negative indexing, both will work perfectly fine. And slice operator, by default, if you don't specify the step, it is +1. If you want to work backwards, we'll give negative index over here, and when you are moving from big to small, also we are going to specify over here is what? Negative index. So whenever we are working with slice operator, we specify two compulsory things or mandatory things over there is start and end. So if you don't specify start, it will take it as 0. If you don't specify end, it will go to the length of that list. And if you don't specify steps, so if simply I write this way, it is LST and I just write over here is colon, nothing I specify over here, it is going to give me the whole list, because the start is 0, end is, if I don't specify till end of the list, and step is by default what, +1. So whole list, it is going to go in forward direction and give me the whole list over here. Okay, so this is the thing we can do. Similarly, the way we have membership operator for string, in operator is called as membership operator over here. Same way we have membership operator for list also. So if I want to see in this list Om name is there or not, so I can say Om in, and I check over here in LST and press enter, so it is going to give me false because Om is not present. But if I write over here A in LST, so you can see it is showing me true. So in operator and not in operator, basically both membership operators, these operators will work with what, string list also. So basically membership operator is for all types of sequences, so it will work with list also. So if you want to search whether in a given list this specific element is present or not, so we can make use of which operator over here is in. And similarly we also have a thing over here, not operator. Okay, so not in also we have over here, not in. So not in, what it will do is, if it is not present, then it will return you true. So now it is present, so it will return you what over here, false. Exactly opposite. Okay, so membership operator is used basically to check whether the given element is present in the list or not. If it is present, it will return you true, otherwise it will return you what over here is false. Similarly, in Python interpreter, we also have a function called min max. Okay, and we also have seen sorted. So we'll just see min max first. So if I say mean of the list I specify over here, so it will give me according to ASCII value, Unicode value, which is the smallest element over here is A. So it has given me A. So if it was a list of numbers, we take an example in 23, randomly 56, then we have 5 and 6, then we take -2 or -1, and then 58 something, and this is the list. And then I say give me the minimum element from this list, min of list. So the minimum element you will get over here is what, -1. Similarly, if I want to get maximum of list, so we can write max of list over here, and that will give you the maximum over here is what, 58. Similarly, we also have a sum function. Suppose I have list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I want to find sum, so I can write sum of LST over here, and you will get a single element over here, that is 15. So these functions are built-in functions in Python interpreter, so we can work out over here. So mean, max, length, sum. Similarly, we also have sorted over here. So if we write sorted and we specify over here is LST over here and press enter, so you can see this list actually was in sorted order. Suppose I change the list over here is I make it 21, then I make it 13, and then I make it over here is suppose 11, and let this data be 5. So if I hit this list, and now if I run this sorted which we have in Python interpreter, you can see it has given me the list in ascending order and it has sorted the list. Now we will see now there are some functions. So remember, in Python interpreter we have a function called sorted, and this sorted function is going to sort your list by default in ascending order. If you want in descending order, then we can write over here is reverse. You can see over here we have a attribute over here is reverse, parameter over here is reverse. So if I write over here is reverse, by default it is false, but if I write over here reverse is equal to true, T capital. Okay, and now if I execute this, you will see it will give you what, in descending order. So sorted is a built-in function in Python interpreter using which you can sort your list either in ascending order or descending order over here. By default it is ascending. If you want descending, you will specify over here is reverse is equal to default argument. We are going to pass the default argument, which is by default set to false, over here to true. Okay, now you can have inside list nested list, you can have tuple. So list can contain anything. It can have heterogeneous data. We can insert data also, means we can add data in between or anywhere. Basically we can append data over here. So suppose I write over here is, we have already seen x of 1 over here. Now let us see some built-in functions in Python. For list, what single functions we have? So we can also have one function now you have over here is append. Okay, so what append is going to do over here is append is going to add at the end over here. So if I say, let me print the list first. Okay, this is the list over here. Okay, so instead of this, now suppose I take some list over here of some string a. Okay, a comma b comma c comma d comma e. Okay, now what I do over here is I want to add an element at the last position over here. Okay, now what we can do over here is, first thing is we can write lst dot, we have a method over here called append. Okay, we have a method over here called append. Okay, so append, and whatever you want to append over here, suppose see, you can add any type of data. A list can is a collection of heterogeneous data. So even if I write 90, it is added to the list over here. You can see 90 is added to the list. So append method is going to add the data at the end of a list. Okay, so we can add data at the end of list using which method? Append. Now similar to append, we have one more method over here is insert. Okay, so insert and append, the difference is basically is append will add at end, and insert, using insert we can add in between over here. So if I want to add data in between over here, so what we can write over here is, the thing is lst dot insert. Okay, so we can say over here is insert and round bracket. Now if you write over here, first is the index position where you want to insert, and what you want to insert object before the index which you specify. So if I want to I specify over here is 2. Okay, or I specify over here is 1, and I specify over here is ohm. Okay, so insert and append, what is the difference over here is insert is going to insert in between. That's when I specify 1, so at first position it has inserted the data over here. We can see first whatever insert index you specify at that position, so these elements are shifted ahead. So when we use append, it is going to add at the last, always at the last, whereas insert is basically if you want to insert in between over here at any positions. So we can say lst dot insert, the position where you want to insert and what you want to insert. So insert and append, the main difference is append will append at the end, whereas insert in between. If you want to insert, then we can go for which method over here is insert. So insert will take an index and an object, and the remaining list elements will be pushed to the right. Okay, so similarly we also have a method over here is lst dot, if I have over here. Okay, so which is the method we have over here is lst dot, we have is pop. Okay, so we have is pop. Now if you see the list and if I say pop, okay, so now you can see if you don't specify anything inside pop, by default it is going to remove the last element over here, last. So by default we can say the index specified inside pop is -1. So you use lst dot pop, it is always going to so if I print the list over here, so you can just see over here 90 has been removed from the list. So pop method, what does pop method do is pop whatever index, if you don't specify the index over here, it is going to remove the last element, and that element it is going to return you back. Okay, pop will remove and return that popped element back, give you back, that is it is going to return you the value. Whereas there is also, we can write this way also, lst dot pop, and now if I say pop of 1, so 1 means this is 0 and 1. So if you specify the index over here, so that element will be popped up from the list. And now if I see the list over here, you will see that ohm has been removed and this b is shifted over here at that position, first position over here, and according the list over here. So pop, if you don't specify any index over here, it is always going to remove the last element. So we can say by default the index is set to -1. If you specify whatever is the index you give, positive or negative, whatever you want to give, that element will be popped from the given list. Similarly now lst dot I feel remove is also there. So we have clear now. Clear, what clear will do? Clear is going to empty your list. So if I say clear, it is going to remove everything, and if you see, nothing is there in the list. So till now we have seen what all functions we have seen is LST is equal to, suppose now I write again over here some data, Om suppose, then I write over here is suppose Priya. Okay, now suppose I want to add element at last. Again we'll do quickly. Append, I will write over here append, and what append I'll say over here is, suppose I say is Sonal. So Sonal name will be added where? At last. Append is always going to insert at last. Suppose at this position I want to enter some name over here. So what we will do is lst dot insert and insert lst dot insert over here. And what we are going to insert at which position? First position. So insert first or second, whichever you want. Suppose I say at 0th position, so we can also say 0, that is the first position. What I want to enter over here is, suppose I say over here is Medha. So now if I press enter over here and now I check the value of LST, Medha will be at the first position. Now similarly pop, what does pop do? If I do lst dot pop, it is going to remove the last name, and if I specify lst dot pop and I specify the index over here, so pop function basically it will take a index, and that index element it will remove from the list. Similarly we also have a function called remove. Okay, so similarly to pop we also have over here is remove. Okay, so we have a function called remove over here. So what remove is going to do is, remove is going to take in argument the object which you want to remove. Pop will take index, whereas remove is going to take what over here is the actual object. So if I write over here Om, okay, I'll put small, it's case sensitive, so Om over here. So let's see now, it is not going to return anything, but if we check the list, this name will be removed from the list. But if I specify over here lst dot remove, if I don't know the what object name, suppose I say by mistake, if I say is remove from this again Om, now Om is not present in the list. Okay, it's already deleted. Now it will immediately give you an error over here, value error, that it is not presenting. Okay, so remove method basically if the element is not present, it will give you error over here. So first we need to check whether the data is present or not, and accordingly we can make use of remove. So what we can do over here is, we can make use of this way, Om. Okay, we can write over here Om in LST and LST dot remove of what? Om. So what we are trying to do over here is, see now, first we are checking whether Om is present in the list. If this condition evaluates to true, then only AND operator will go and check, do the second operation over here. But if the first condition itself is false, AND operator is a smart operator, depending upon the first answer it will decide whether it has to go to second or not. If first is false, it will never go and do the second logic over here, so you will have false over here. And if the data was present, suppose instead of Om I write something over here is, suppose I write is Medha. Okay, and I tell is remove Medha. So now Medha present in the list over here? Yes. Okay, so it's there in the list, Medha is there in the list. Yes, true. As first condition is true, then it will work out for the second, and now you will get the answer. If you see over here is by default, now it will give, we check in the list, Medha name is not there. Okay, so remove function basically, everyone remember, remove what is basically, it takes, pop will work with index, whereas remove is taking the data over here. But if the data is not present, it will give you error. So first we need to check the data which we want to remove, whether it is present in the list or not. If yes, then only we will, this way we can just make use of AND operator and accordingly remove over here. Okay, then we also have a function called extend. Suppose what does extend do is, I have a list over here this way. Suppose we have A, comma, B, comma, and in double quotes C we have over here. So this is my first list, second list which I have, and first list I have already shown you. This is my LST over here. So these are my two lists. Now if we want to concat two lists, okay, so what I want is, at the end of this LST, that is Priya and Sonal, this A, B, C should be added. So what we can do is LST dot extend, we have over here is extend, and what we will do over here is extend, what extend? L2. So if we run, and now if we check over here LST, you can see ABC is appended at the end. Okay, so what extend is going to do is extend adds the given sequence at the end of the list. Okay, so it can be any type of iterable type of object. So it could be list, it could be tuple. It's not compulsory that this argument or data which we pass is should be list only. So it could be a tuple also. So it means if I write this way now, LST, and I write over here dot extend, and I write over here is suppose I write over here is tuple I pass over here is 45,67. Let's check whether it is getting added or not. So if I write this way, you can see it got added. So extend is basically use what extend, we can pass any iterable type of object over here, and that iterable type of object will get added over here. So if I say lst dot extend, and we say over here is suppose now if I say over here is suppose I say over here is by. Okay, suppose I use the word by over here. Let's see, it's a string. Okay, string is also of iterable type. So if I see over here, and now if I see over here, it's you can see BYE has got appended at the end of the list. So basically extend method can take any iterable type of object, and that object is added at this list whichever you specify. At the end of that, this data is appended over here. So extend is basically used to extend something. So if you want to add at the end of the list any iterable type of object, we can use extend. Append method is used basically to append a single object. So if you want to add a single, see append and extend, what is the difference is lst dot append, when I write, I can append only what over here is a single object over here. Okay, so if I write over here this way now, if I write over here this way, let's see the difference. So if I pass over here 1, 2, 3, okay, not I'll write, okay, 1, 2, 3, okay, so it will be appended as a single object. So let's check the list over here. So you can see it is as a single object, it didn't got splitted, that is 1, 2, 3, okay. And if I specify lst now, lst dot extend, again I'll make use of extend method, and if I pass a list this way 1, 2, this is a list which I have created directly over here. Now you can see after this now the data will be separate, 1, 2 separate things over here. So if I print the lst over here, you can see it's 1, 2, 3. So extend is going to extend the list, that is this whatever is the list over here, it is going to the data will be merged like we can see over here in the existing list. Whereas if you use append, it is going to append whatever data you pass, whatever type of object you pass, it will be taken as a single object and added at the end of the list. Okay, so what all things we have seen is we have seen append to add at the end a single object. Extend to extend is basically used when you want to merge, or we can say add a iterable type of object at the end over here. So we can use over here is extend. Insert is used to insert in between. Remove and pop, both are used to remove delete data, but basically remove will take a object in argument which you want to remove, whereas pop will take a index over here. Similarly, we can also delete using del function like this. Del, if I write over here lst of, if I specify 1, means zonal name will be removed over here. So if I check over here lst, so you will see zonal name has been removed. So also we have a Python inbuilt function over here is del, and from the list remove the first element. So it will remove the list first element from your list over here. So we can also use del function over here. Now the most important functions which we have is reverse. Okay, so lst dot, we have a thing. So let's check the list first of all, what all things we have in list. Okay, these are the things. So if I write over here is lst dot reverse, you have a thing over here is reverse. Okay, so when you say reverse, the whole list will be reversed over here. And now if I check over here the thing, you can see originally 3 was at the end and Priya was the first name, you can see over here. So Priya was the first name previously at 97 line, and now when I reversed over here at 100, you can see Priya now name has gone down below. Or simply if I take a small list over here is lst is equal to, and I take over here is some number 67, 45, 3, 78, 9, and then I write over here is 20, suppose. Okay, and now if I write over here lst dot reverse, okay, Reverse is reversing the original list. If you see, I'm not storing anywhere. If I check the original list over here, you can see the original list has been reversed. Here 20 was at the last position and now it is at the first position. 9 over here, 70 accordingly. So reverse is going to reverse the original list. In place, in the list itself, all the elements will be reversed over here. Okay, and similarly we also have a method in lists. We have a method called sort. Okay, we have a method called sort. By default the key argument is none over here and reverse is by default false. And you can see it is in place. In place means what now? Again the same thing, original list it is going to maintain in sorting order. So if I print over here is LST, you can see the original list has been maintained in sorted. So original list has been converted, maintained in sorted order. Whereas in Python interpreter, the sorted, see sort we have seen twice. Inside your list also you have got function, and we also have a thing called sorted in Python interpreter. So if I take a L1 over here, list over here, and check, I write over here some data 45, 2, 78 and 6. And if I say over here sorted, we have a Python inbuilt function called sorted. And if I pass over here L1, you will see that we get the data in sorted order over here 2, 6, 45. But if I print the original list L1 over here, the data is not in the original list, it's not modified. Sorted function has created a new list over here and the data in that new list is in which order? Sorted order. Whereas this sort function, okay, the sort function which we have inside list, it is going to do in place sorting. So the list itself will be modified over here and accordingly we can see over here. So if you want in reverse order, what we can say over here is reverse is equal to true, and now by default you can see it is what? It will be in descending order. So 78 will be first, then 67 and this. So reverse equals to, by default this argument is false. So if you set it to true, then we are telling that the sorting logic I want in reverse order, that is descending. Okay. One more thing is we have is sort, we have is reverse. Now in sort, suppose assume I have, last thing which I would like to tell is, suppose I have a list this way of some strings. Suppose I have over here is Om, then we have some name over here is suppose Priya, then we have over here is Sonal, then we have over here is suppose Kirti. So these are the names over here. Now if I apply a sort function over here, okay, lst.sort or sorted, whichever you want. So if I write sorted, we will see that the list will be maintained in alphabetical order. So we will have first is Kirti, according to K will be first, then Om, and then Priya, and then Sonal. Now this sorting has been done alphabetically. So first K is compared, means accordingly. Now if I want this list to be sorted according to the second character, this character which we have, according to this character over here, we want to sort it. So what we can do is, inside your sort function, if you see, we have a thing called key. Okay, key over there. So we can see over here we have key. So if I press over here this way, you can see the argument we have is key is equal to by default none, but we can specify a key over here. So now what we can do over here is we can either create a function, or we can write over here is what? Key is equal to key is equal to, and now what we can write over here is, now we need to specify a function over here. So if I write a function over here is def my sort, something like that over here, and this is taking a string in input and it is returning what over here? The last character, second character. So return, and what I say over here is s of 1. So I am now, what I'll do over here is, so this is my function over here. I say lst dot sort in here we specify the key. Next, so key is equal to, here we will write give the function name according to which you want to sort. So if I specify over here my sort, it means now I am telling this sort function the key for sorting, what is the key you want to take for sorting is in this function my sort. So 1 from this list, what it is going, this Kirti name will go in this s over here, and from that Kirti name s of 1 means you are going to get in return what? I. see s, we have learned that in strings we can do indexing. So this k is at s of 0, i's position is 1, and so accordingly, so if I write like this, now let's check whose name will be first. I feel Kirti's name will only be first, so let's check the list now. So it's the same thing we got. Okay, let me modify the list. Suppose I take a name over here is Deepa. Okay, so Om, Deepa, Sonal, and this. Okay, before Sonal, suppose I write over here is Raj. Okay, now if I am doing according to second character, Raj should come first. Okay, so this is my list, and this is the thing we hit. And now let's see whether Raj name is first. So you can see Raj, the second character is A, so this name has come first. It has done sorting according to the second character. Then Deepa's E is the thing, then Kirti's I, and then Om. So if you want to sort according to first character or reverse logic, you want to reverse the string and accordingly you want to do sorting, or according to length. So if I want to do according to length, what I can do over here is I can write the name of function. Now length is an inbuilt function, so if I write length, so according to length it will sort. So Om's length is 2, and now if I run over here, and now if I check, Om will come over here first. So key, when we write key is equal to, we are going to specify the name of function according to what you want to sort. So if I write length, length is a built-in function, so no problem over here. If you want to write a customized function, we can write and specify that name over here. So sort, basically here you can write what is the logic according to what you want to sort the thing. So we, to specify the function name, we make use of at argument over here is what, key. So key is equal to, and the name of function according to what you want to sort it. So accordingly it will do what over here is sorting. So list, basically, so list, so that is what all about sorting. So list is basically, now we can say it is mutable, or it can contain heterogeneous data. It is the ordered collection. It means the data insertion order is maintained over here. It can contain heterogeneous element. Then it can it is growable in nature. Okay, we can do slicing, indexing operations on your list. It is growable. Then it has got built-in functions like append, extend, remove, pop. Then you have is insert, okay, reverse, and then we have is sort. So all these functions are present over here. List is a very important thing which we normally use in Python over here. So list, the biggest thing over here is list is mutable. So mutable means you can append, delete anything at any point of time over here. Okay, till here everyone. So we'll just finish up over here. So okay, we can also use concatenation of two lists. So if I write over here L1 plus LST2, so we will see both the list data will be concatenated over here. So L1 had these names over here, Kirti, Om, Priya, and Sonal, and L1 had these data over here is, so when we make use of plus operator, it is going to merge the two lists and give you a new list over here. So L1 is unmodified over here. This is a new list actually. So this is unmodified, and LST2 is also unmodified. So when you do plus operator, it is going to do concatenation. Similarly, if I write over here L1 greater than L2, now it is will give me error because both are of not same type. So it will give me error, okay, because whenever you are using any relational operator, both should be of same type. One is int and one is string, you can't compare. But if both are of same type, suppose I write over here L1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, and now I write over here L2 is equal to 34 comma minus 1 and comma something 90. So now if I write over here L1 greater than L2, now it will check element by element over here. Okay, I have not written equal to over here. Okay, so now if I check whether L1 is greater than L2, it has given me false. Why? Because the first element itself, it has compared, it will go element by element. So is 1 greater than 34? No, it is not greater than 34. So it has given us what over here, false. So you can apply all relational operators over here. If you want to check both the lists are exactly equal or not, you can make use of this operator over here to check whether they are equal or not. So if they are equal, it will give you true, otherwise it will give you what over here is false. So you can check less than also, you can check greater than also all relational operators we can apply over here. Less than also we can apply. Okay, so basically list is now in last to conclude. So list is basically a ordered collection which can contain any type of data, heterogeneous data. We can access elements of list by using index. List can have nested list also. It can be nested to any any level. So you can have inside list a nested one more list nested. So nesting can be at any level. They are mutable and they are growable over here. Okay, so this is all about list. So you can do practicals and you can perform the things. Just check out, do yourself. Okay, so this is a whole thing about list what we have done. So we'll stop over here, everyone. Thank you, thanks a lot.